You've heard of the Ultimate Mai Tai, but I bet you've never heard of the Penultimate Mai Tai. Not until today, because today's Mai Tai is just not quite the Ultimate Mai Tai. The Ultimate Mai Tai is from Kevin Crossman, and you've seen it all over the internet, from his blog, in videos online, and even from your favorite YouTuber of all time. That Mai Tai, the Ultimate Mai Tai, uses a blend of 4 rums: Appleton Estate 12, Smith & Cross Rum, OFTD, and Plantation Zymaca. Kevin Crossman is here right now, and Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about the Ultimate Mai Tai blend, how you came across, I guess, those 4 rums, and I guess ultimately decided on that blend?
Well, when you're making a Mai Tai, it has 2 ounces of rum. So if you're splitting up a bunch of different rums, a lot easier to split 4 than, say, 3. So I thought, well, I'll just come up with 4 rums that I like and put them together and try it out. And I had an earlier blend that used some rums that had added sugar. And so I went with basically drier, mostly Jamaican rums. And that's why we landed on Appleton 12 and Smith & Cross. Those were sort of from the original blend. Very popular, used in a lot of places. But then I combined it with Plantare's Zymaca rum, which is 100% pot still and quite a bit funkier than the Appleton is. And then Plantare's OFTD, super boozy, dark with a lot of Guyanese rum, and just to add a lot more flavor to the rum, so that it ends out being 50% ABV, super bold, super flavorful, because that's what you're going for if you're looking for the ultimate Mai Tai. At least if you are a professional Mai Tai drinker like me.
I think I said this the last time I did it. It might not be for the beginner, but I do think anyone can enjoy it. But it is one of those things that you would, maybe if you started drinking with like an Appleton signature or just like an Appleton, like a blend rum, then you want to graduate into something else. Do you have a rum from the blend of those 4 bottles that's like your favorite of those 4?
Well, Appleton 12 is probably my favorite rum. It's super approachable. 43 ABV, so it's not too funky or too heavy, but it's got 12 years of age, very flavorful, and it's a blended rum, so you have hot and column in there. So it's a little bit more approachable maybe than some of those funky Jamaican rums.
Yeah, and it's also I keep coming back to that as my favorite all the time. Even when you want something that's a little bit more funky and flavorful, I still come back to that. So the origin of the Penultimate Mai Tai was, there's a couple things. First is, if you want a 4-bottle Mai Tai, then the Ultimate Mai Tai is a 4-bottle. If you want a 1-bottle Mai Tai, that's kind of something else. You just said the 3-bottle is kind of difficult to do unless you're doing, like 1 ounce and half an ounce and half an ounce. So I thought, let's figure out a 2-bottle Mai Tai. And I thought it might be fun to go through a bunch of testing. And then eventually I was like, you know what? The name for this that would be funny is Penultimate Mai Tai. It's not quite the Ultimate Mai Tai. And then instead of trying to come up with 2 bottles, I thought, who better to ask than the guy who created the Ultimate Mai Tai? And there were, I don't want to say there were strict parameters or anything, but the goal of this was 2 bottles and then whatever you wanted. And you kind of asked me a little bit about that. And I said, just whatever you want. It didn't need to be sort of traditional. It didn't need to be something that was trying to be the ultimate Mai Tai blend. So you worked on that. I think you came about the results relatively quickly. And you want to share with everyone the rums used in the Penultimate Mai Tai?
Well, it's interesting. It's actually harder for me to come up with that 2-rum Mai Tai than when I landed on the Ultimate Mai Tai.
Yeah.
I landed on that 4, and then I tried a bunch of things and I could never beat it, so I just gave up. But the obvious answer would have been Appleton 12 and Smith & Cross. You see that in a lot of places like Dr. Funk in San Jose, they use it. But I thought, well, that's kind of a little bit of a cop-out because it's just taking out 2 rums. And I was thinking about what I wanted in a Mai Tai. You want some bold flavors. I like it a little extra boozy. Mm-hmm. And obviously there needs to be some Jamaica rum in there, but it doesn't have to be 100%. And so I thought about Worthy Park 109 being the base. Super flavorful, not overly funky, a little bit more of that char taste. Very reminiscent of the original punch rums from like the 1950s and 1940s. And I thought, what could I do to pair with this? And there's always this tradition of using like a rum agricole in a Mai Tai in some of these blends. And I really love the Hawaiian rum agricoles that are out there. And Kuleana is my favorite. So I thought, let's put these two rums together and see how they work. And I tried an equal portion, and that was just a little bit too much on the agricole side. So we have 1.5 ounces of Worthy Park 109 and 1/2 ounce of the Kuleana rum agricole. And if you don't have Kuleana, it's not so easy to find and kind of expensive. Obviously, you could Kohana from Hawaii would be a good option. But even something like Kopali or even a Cachaça probably would be closer in character than, say, like a Martinique rum agricole.
Yeah, so instead of using something like Clement or Rum JM, looking for the lower intense grassy note, and
Right.
so then Cachaças. Now the Rum Barbancourt now is actually a lot. The new one's like much more flavorful than the last one, but yeah, I'm guessing if someone tried to sub in just like the Rum JM, the 55% ABV Blanc, it would be a little bit overwhelming.
Too much.
So we're going to make the penultimate Mai Tai. And for this one, you'll need lime juice, Orgeat, Demerara Syrup, an orange liqueur, Worthy Park 109, and Kuleana Hawaiian Agricole Rum. All right, so for the Orgeat today, special occasion, I thought I would get out the real Latitude 29 Orgeat. I know it's your favorite. And then when it comes to the orange liqueur today, I know you don't have strict guidelines, but what's your recommendation for this?
Really, any high quality orange Curacao or other orange liqueur would be great. We're gonna use the Ferrand dry Curacao today. Very flavorful, but it's not too assertive because we want to taste the rum in this Mai Tai.
I give Pierre Ferrand dry Curacao a hard time, but I do think if you're making Mai Tais, and actually especially when you're trying to have like a more traditional recipe, it is the one that works the best because it's imparting the least of none of those like grassy notes. It's not too sweet. It's got a little dryness and bitterness. So we're going to do like Trader Vic said, and we're going to shake these. So we're going to start with 1 ounce of lime juice, 1/2 ounce of Orgeat, 1/4 ounce of a Demerara syrup, 1/2 ounce of orange Curacao, 1/2 ounce of our Kuleana Hawaiian Agricole Rum, and 1.5 ounces of Worthy Park 109. All right, the penultimate Mai Tai it's from ultimatemaitai.com. So let's try it. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks. Such a long finish. I really think that you're getting that Jamaican flavor, but there is that undercurrent of the sweetness from that cane juice.
Yeah.
Really, really different from a lot of Mai Tais you have. Very approachable too.
Yeah.
Because it's not overly funky.
I think I'm more surprised because the Hawaiian rum comes through and it provides it's sweetness without sugar, but it's kind of heightening sweet flavors. But then I don't know if I could have ever guessed what was in here, but that Worthy Park 109 gets you that richness, that dark flavor, but it's not like the Karuba flavor. Like it's such a unique rum, and I mean I think it's one of everyone's favorites nowadays. So it's also interesting when you're pairing that with the Hawaiian rum. It takes somewhat of a back seat to the first initial flavor you get from that fresh, sweet flavor.
Yeah, I really think that the Worthy Park for sure is the backbone and the finish on that. And this is a little bit like those original Hawaiian Mai Tais that paired a lighter rum with a dark rum. So it's a little bit of a tribute that way as well.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like a modern take on that too, by using two rums that are relatively newer rums, probably both more equipped for like today's palates and what people want. So it's delicious. And if you're someone who doesn't like an agricole in your Mai Tai, don't worry. It's not coming through like that at all. But also, it doesn't taste like cachaça. It really does feel like it's its own thing.
Yeah. Those Hawaiian rums that they're making from the Hawaiian cane juice. I mean, the cane is different, it tastes different, and it's its own thing, and it's delicious.
So if you have the ingredients to try this, definitely try this. If you can't find the Hawaiian rum, try to sub something out for that. It's great. I appreciate you being up for the task of taking on the penultimate Mai Tai. And while it was kind of a funny thing to name it, don't get the impression that it's not fantastic, because it really is great. I don't want to say I'm surprised, because I trusted you, but this is fantastic. So I love this. Now, Kevin, where can people find you online or on social media?
Social media, Ultimate Mai Tai on Instagram and Threads, and ultimatemaitai.com is the website with all the stuff, all our findings, the daily blog, recipes, etc.
If you want to know more about the Mai Tai and also just bars across the country, go to ultimatemaitai.com. So, Kevin, thanks again for coming. Thanks for sharing this recipe and taking the challenge of making a 2-bottle penultimate Mai Tai. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. Consider subscribing to the channel. Go check out the Patreon page if you want to support this channel more. And otherwise, we'll see you on the next one.